Hey everybody, it's Second Chance Adventures. Today's day number 186 after having gastric bypass surgery. So today we're going to be on a little topic. We're going to talk about inflammation. If you don't know what inflammation is, basically it just means like swelling and irritation of like bones, joints, or like if you get a cut on your hand and it swells up, inflammation, that kind of thing. When you're really overweight, you have a lot of inflammation, especially when you're like overworking yourself or you pull a muscle or you pinch a nerve, something like that. With my experience, being morbidly obese for pretty much my entire life, I've had a lot of inflammation. I still have a lot of inflammation in my body, and most of it's just in my lower back and like a tiny part of the back of my neck, closest to my shoulder. You have a lot of inflammation because your bones are having to put up with a lot of excess weight, and because of that there's a lot of irritation and swelling, inflammation, whatever you want to call it. Your bones go through hell trying to keep up with all that weight and carry it, not just carry it simply, but deal with it when you're laying down sleeping and it falls on your back. You're at work and you're standing all day and all that weight's pushing on your feet, causing your feet to swell and hurt. Whatever it is you can think of, inflammation. People who are overweight go through a lot of that. And because of a lot of that, we end up keeping what I would call a stash. Let me know if you keep a stash and tell me if it's something similar to mine. So my stash would be like a massager like this. It has like 6 different speeds and like 5 or 6 different head parts on it. I like this one. To try to give you a massage and try to get all the stress off of it, increase blood flow, feel better, whatever. I use a lot of like liquid heat, or I would use like the roll-on icy heat, whatever you call it, that like goes through your skin. It kind of burns, but it does relieve a little bit of pain. It doesn't do all of it all the time, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Anti-inflammatories, whether it's over the counter or not. Ice packs, big one right there. Heating pads, that kind of thing. Or just basically just some kind of lotion to calm you down or give you some kind of pampering. That was basically my stash. And all the years that I was overweight, if I knew 100%, if I knew that I was going to end up being stuck somewhere all day and I wasn't going to be at home with my stash, I would find a way to take it with me. Because when you're really overweight, your bones and your pinched nerves and everything else can randomly start going into shock at any time. And it doesn't even take much to make it happen. It really doesn't, especially the longer you've had the issues. And when you need it, you need it. Because if your back's going out in the middle of something, the last thing you want to do is cause a scene and stop everything. And everybody's looking at you and making fun of you, talking about you because, oh, she's so fat. She's just fat. Her back went out. Oh, that's so terrible. That's embarrassing. So if you have your stash, less likely chance of something like that's going to happen. And something like that did happen to me one time, but that's going to be another day, different story. So I learned that the hard way. When you're really overweight, your body goes through hell. I mean, the human body goes through a lot as it is, but it does not help at all when it has to carry weight that it doesn't need. It's easy to gain weight, but man, is it hard to lose it, especially naturally. If you were someone that lost a bunch of weight naturally, I mean, wow, I'm so proud of you, man, because I was never able to do it. I would go months and months and months and months at a time, eating the right things and balanced diets and exercising, drinking water, doing better on sleep, trying to make effort to sleep better. Very little to no results. And then after a while, you get so tired of it. You think, why am I putting in months and months and months and months of all this effort and I'm not getting anything back? That's like being in a relationship and you're the one putting in all the efforts. You're the one doing everything, but then you have a silent partner and you're thinking, what am I doing here? I could be using all this energy for something else. It feels like that sometimes. You're not alone. I felt that hundreds of times. But I just wanted to get on here and just talk about, inflammation. It slows you down. It really does. And when you're overweight, you have like one particular place where it happens at. Sure, it happens all over, but there's always like that one place on your body where it's the worst. Mine was on my lumbar, and I have like the letter capital H effect. Like your lumbar is here across. On my left side, it was like on the upper part of my lumbar. On my right side, it was on the bottom part of my lumbar. And like right in the middle, it just kind of stayed in the middle. And it went down a little bit, but it was kind of like a capital H thing. And then on both sides, it went down my leg. So it's kind of like a capital H thing going on here. Um, to this day, even 6 months after surgery, I still have a lot of swelling in my back. Just not too long ago, I went to my PCP office and we re-looked at my swelling. It's gone down just a tiny, tiny bit, and I can feel that. But to this day, it is still massively swollen. There is a lot of damage to my back, and it's not just from weight, it's just from accidents that I've had and injuries and things like that. But the weight doesn't make it any better, it makes it worse. Inflammation, again, will slow you down. It will prevent you from enjoying things in life. It will prevent you from trying new things. It'll make you feel self-conscious. It'll make you feel doubtful about yourself and everything that goes on around you. It's true, because I went through that for so many years. So a lot of times when you're like around people who are overweight, doing whatever, and then they don't want to try anything new, don't pressure them, because there's probably a reason why they don't want to, and a lot of it is because they're just trying to save themselves from some kind of embarrassment, no matter what it might be. Obviously don't ask them about it, but a lot of times people who are overweight, they don't want to try certain things or do certain things because they're afraid of something happening and they'll be embarrassed, or because they're just in a lot of pain, or they're self-conscious, or whatever. There's always a reason why. And mine was always either because I was just in too much pain, or I was afraid of being embarrassed. A lot of it was inflammation, and it slows you down big time. It really does. And something else, I don't know if it's just me. Do you do this too? Like if you're overweight, have you done this too, where you're constantly for years and years and years looking online of ways to relieve pain in your back, your legs, your knees, wherever it is that you hurt the most? Like trying to find certain massages that don't cost like an arm and a leg, trying to find other ways to relieve it, and then you just almost find nothing except go to the chiropractor. But I'm honestly too afraid to go to the chiropractor. I'm so scared that I'm going to go somewhere and lay on a table and they're going to do something wrong and make it so much worse. I'm terrified to do that. I've heard so many people tell me in the comments like, yeah, I went to a chiropractor and they made it worse. I'm so scared of that. I'm like one freak accident away from being in a chair, honestly, because there's been so many times where like I'll walk and then it'll just shoot down so bad that I like lose the feeling in my legs after a few seconds. Then I just plop down on the floor. It's weird. It's the weirdest thing. So being overweight has a lot of problems that go with it. So what I'm trying to say is, whether you do it naturally, you have surgery, you work with a dietitian, whatever you're going to do, get rid of that problem now, because the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be, people. I mean, I was 29 years old when I got mine done, and yeah, it's young. I'm 30 now. It's still young, but I went over 20 years of having serious weight issues, and that's going to be hard on me when I'm older, in my older ages. I can't imagine how it's going to be for people who waited 40, 50 plus years. I mean, oh my gosh. I just did it for pain management. I don't really worry about the way it makes me look on the outside, because it doesn't define who I am. Because eventually all my hair is going to fall out anyways. I'm going to be wearing false teeth. I'm going to have wrinkles. I'm probably going to get shorter. My memory's going to go away a little bit. I'm going to get fuzzy. I'm going to get a little weird. So why am I worried about the way I look when it's just going to go away anyways? I'd rather have my brain, my common sense, and maturity versus the looks. But I'd also like to try to have it with less pain as possible, and that's why I had the surgery, because inflammation is terrible. And I've already missed out too much in life. Yeah, I missed out so many things as a kid. I missed out on a lot in like high school because of the way I looked, overweight, always in a lot of pain. self-conscious, bullying, isolated by other people. I missed out on a lot, but I had surgery and I'm taking it back now. I'm enjoying life so much more now. And there's so much more that's going to be coming too, and I just cannot wait to see it. But when you have inflammation, a lot of joint pain, it's not happening. So if that's you, do what you can to get rid of it because you're just wasting time, guys. Is it the easiest thing in the world to do? Absolutely not. But it has to happen. All right? I'll see you guys later. I'll see you on PS4.